On this episode of Greco Fabulous, I buy a bucket! Hey, good morning everyone. I'm going to be checking out a local yard sale. I'm on a busy street, so hopefully you can hear me, maybe not. It's kind of a late start. It starts at 10, which I feel like is late for yard sales, but, you know, quick 10-mile drive down the road. Mentioned vintage toys. Mentioned grandparents, so maybe too vintage, but we'll see what we come away with, if anything. Alright, bye. Seriously? Mr. Loudmouth Big Shot YouTuber guy is all of a sudden a timid little boy because you put him out on the street? What a lame intro. This is embarrassing! I'm gonna send a picture to my friend, see if he needs anything in here. Alright guys, so as you can see, we're going down and dirty again because apparently that's what you guys like. My last video is like blowing up on, you know, epic proportions compared to some of the other stuff I do. So if I can get more results with less work, I'm all about it. So I didn't grab a ton of footage because I'm not, you know, when it's, you know, flea markets and conventions are one thing, but yard sales, I'm still like, this is kind of an invasion of privacy. So last thing I want is to completely sour my chances of getting a deal by running in there with like GoPros blazing. So this pickup is from a local yard sale, nonchalant, nothing special in the listing. It basically said, hey, we're cleaning out our parents' stuff, or grandparents' stuff, and there might be some toys there. And when I got there, they were totally unprepared, so I basically kept asking questions and having them pull things out. But the first thing I bought was out there, and what caught my eye was this giant red bucket. Look at this thing. 21.5-inch diameter, 17 inches high. No joke, this thing weighed like at least 30 pounds. So right when I saw it, you know me, I'm like, what do you want for the whole bucket? The answer to that later in this video, but for now, let's actually see what was inside. Alright, so if you are a wrestling fan, this is definitely the video for you. So that red tote was a majority of wrestlers, and once I started seeing some of the older figures, I was like, I knew I had to just make a run for the whole thing. So these guys are looking pretty okay right now. I mean, they've definitely been beat up. They've been through plenty of Royal Rumbles, but they were so freaking dirty when I first picked them up. Like, I literally spent 2 days scrubbing them down to try to get them at least presentable. Definitely a labor of love. So let's check these guys out. These are the LJN WWF figures, all rubber guys, before Hasbro. So I'm gonna do my best to name all of these guys. This is Junkyard Dog. He originally came with a chain, which is not available. And they all have various, you know, signs of wear and tear, you know, paint missing, you know, they're all having their exposed booty shorts. A lot of them have a common problem where like their appendages are kind of worn down. So his boots, you can see right there. He does have his fingers, so he's got that going for him. But there's Junkyard Dog. This right here is Jesse the Body Ventura. He has kind of his nose rubbed off, which unfortunately is, like I said, these were played with. So what's with wrestlers and assless chaps? Here we have Iron Sheik. You can see he has his Iran pants right there. And this right here is Hillbilly Jim. Now, I did watch WWF wrestling growing up. I was, you know, Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Ultimate Warrior, Razor Ramon, up until like, you know, DX and Stone Cold and stuff. I gobbled it up. Then I kind of got lost interest. Where I say I lost interest when it became a soap opera, but looking back, it was always a soap opera. So anyways, some of these guys are before my time, and I only know their names because, you know, I looked them up when I was doing some research. So if I get some of them wrong, feel free to blast me in the comments, because that's all you guys are good for. Never positive reinforcement, just pointing out my flaws. So this, I believe, is Hercules Hernandez. Here's an old guy. I knew his name. It's like Russ. Got a big nose. Russ Big Nose Nipples, I believe is his name. I don't know, you guys can point him out if you feel like it. Make a game out of it. Every time I get a wrestler wrong, take a shot. This is obviously Brutus the Barber Beefcake. As you can see, you know, some of them unfortunately have appendage issues. He's missing his thumb right there. So he can't do, who's a wrestler and has thumbs? This guy. He can't do that. Could have done a little better with that, couldn't I have? But anyways, this is the new me. Who cares? This, can you recognize this guy from the back? This, I believe, he was called Mr. Wonderful. Making us regular folks feel bad. And I'm just grabbing things at random, not saving the best for last or anything like that. This right here is King Kong Bundy. And I don't know what happened, like, why did their noses get so rubbed down? Like were people wrestling like, you know what I mean? Like, was that one of his signature move? I was about to throw out a Sir Mix-a-Lot lyric. No, Humpty, the Humpty Dance is your chance to do the hump. But it's not very PG, so if you guys, you know what I'm talking about. All right, here we got Tito Santana. And like I said, I pretty much just wiped down, scrubbed them for the dirt that they were covered in. I didn't get all crazy with like a magic eraser, but I'm sure a lot of that could be removed if I really wanted to. That and probably their skin color. Alright, this guy obviously needs no introduction. Hollywood Hulk Hogan! Not Hollywood at this time. What is that? Flying? He had the leg smash, right? I remember playing like Royal Rumble for their Super Nintendo, and that was like, it was almost like the equivalent of knowing the fatality codes in Mortal Kombat. Just knowing their finishing moves and getting it to work. So there's that. Right here, Big John Studd. Got some knuckle damage. Yeah, see, some of their feet are like cut off. Like, I don't understand how that happens, man. Like, again, like, who's like rubbing foots? Who's like playing footsies with these wrestlers? So there's that. You're from the Village People? No, I think this is a Cowboy Bob Orton. Did come with a hat. Some of these came with accessories, some did not. Oh, here's a biggie, guys. Andre the Giant. This came on a black card back, which apparently is more rare towards the end of the line, I think, compared to maybe the greenbacks. Seriously, this figure that I'm holding in my hand, you know, obviously condition aside, I'm still gonna shoot for the moon, but I've seen examples of this guy sell for like $300 loose. So keep that in mind. I didn't know that. I didn't know he was in there at the time, and even if I did know he was in there, I wouldn't have known his value. Where were you the day Hulk Hogan body slammed Andre the Giant? Oh, your brother, Hulkamania! 1, 2, 3. Ding, 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 ding. But once I figured for what I offered and what they took, and how many just a pure volume of figures in there, it was definitely worth picking up. You're gonna go insane once you hear what I paid for it. Here, Roddy Piper. He did come with a kilt. That is not. I still have not seen that in person. Here's Jimmy Hart, one of the managers. He was a cool figure. I believe he actually passed away within recent memory. This guy is like Nikolai something Russian. Nikolai V is I don't know how many Russian names last name ends with. Last name start with V. That was so hard to say. But that's that guy. He came with like a babushka hat. And for some reason there's two of them. I originally thought that it was like a tag team or something, and I believe there is a tag team, but I think these are the same guy. Right? Let's see. Yeah, I think they're the same guy. We're brothers, we're happy and we're singing and we're... Nope, they're not. Alright. Who do we got next? Hacksaw Jim Duggan, ho, USA, USA. So he had a 2x4 accessory. Oh, sorry. That does not exist anymore. Oh yeah! Snap into a Slim Jim. Look, he snapped into his fingers. My God. This is obviously Macho Man Randy Savage. Here we got Mr. Fiji. Another great manager. He managed Yokozuna. That's how I know him from. Used to, I don't think he dressed this way when he managed them. I think he had more of like a, I don't know if it was not a kimono, but something loose fitting. He used to throw like salt in people's eyes. So there's that. And, you know, he started off as like a odd job looking butler kind of guy. Here we have, and I'm doing really good with these, Greg the Hammer Valentine. I'm actually really impressed at how I'm remembering these names. All right, we're down to the last two. This is George the Animal Steel. A really hairy figure. I mean, it doesn't really like the hair doesn't necessarily translate to the figure itself. It looks like he has some kind of like weird skin disease, like he's melting, or just have all these lesions. I probably shouldn't be touching him with bare hands. But remember, his little shtick used to be he used to eat the turnbuckle. Yeah, that's what he did. All right, and the best, which I did save for last on purpose. I know I said I wasn't going to, but Ultimate Warrior. Another super rare, super valuable figure. Did not know what I had till I started posting pictures and people were like, hello. Awesome wrestler, awesome character. This figure, unfortunately, is not perfect. He's suffering from body dysmorphia and his face is a little worn. But similar to Andre the Giant, this thing fetches like upwards of $300 in a little better condition. So, I mean, two figures alone, you're potentially talking, depending on the condition and what it goes for, this being at least a $200 lot, I would say, with two figures alone. But we're not even close to being done. So as I said in the beginning, I hope you like wrestling because there's a ton more. Alright, now this is the era of wrestling toys that I grew up with. I definitely had some of these. My buddy was a big wrestling pal, so he had the ring and everything. We even had dreams of like making our own backyard ring at some point. That went the same way as my other dreams as a kid, where I wanted to build my own Ed 209, and amongst other things. So I don't know if I just applied myself, I would have a backyard wrestling league and then, my own Ed 209. But I did not. So I did not do as much research on these guys, so I'm just basing it off memory, so I'm probably going to miss a lot of figures here. And as you can see, I didn't really do cleaning on these guys either. But these are hard plastic, so I would not throw them, in a vat of like water with like Dawn soap like I did the other guys, because I don't want, water to like seep into the crevices here and cause all kinds of problems. So I'm just gonna start grabbing things at random and see what I can do here. But this is Bret the Hitman Hart, but it was towards when he was with WCW, and you totally forget how many wrestlers like made the transition. This little figure, I believe, is also a WCW figure. This is a solid hard piece of plastic. AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, very, very popular tag team wrestling group back in the day. Actually, I think it was like Anderson or something. One of those A's has to be Anderson, right? How many possibilities are there? So these were WCW figures, pretty much the similar as the giant LJN guys, as far as like just being a big hunk of plastic, but a smaller hunk of plastic. This is also a hunk of plastic, but it is WWF. This is Yokozuna. This is part of the Bendham's line, so not one of the Hasbro figures that we, were most popular in the 90s. I remember I saw wrestling in person. It was not a televised event at the time, and it was Yokozuna versus Bret the Hitman Hart in a steel cage match. And, of course, Mr. Fuji, Mr. Fiji interfered, threw salt in Bret's eyes, and all Yokozuna had to do, since he's so fat, just had to literally fall out the door to win. He didn't have to climb out up and over, which I feel like is a little bit of a advantage, I would say. So anyways, let's start getting into some of these figures. And like some of these were just like, not only are they dirty, but they were like drawn on. But here is the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Woo! And I'm jumping all over the place. This is another WCW figure. This is one of the Steiner brothers, Rick or Scott. This I don't know who she. I was about to say who she belonged to, but that's not. No, that's not how you're supposed to refer to women. She partnered with someone, but her name is Sunny. This guy, I don't know for sure. It's another. I'm gonna say. I feel like his name is Anderson too. Everyone I don't know is gonna be an Anderson. So yeah, WCW. Here, Hasbro, we got Earthquake. Not much more to say about that. This guy, I don't know. This is like Diego Montoya or something. It's one of those wrestlers that was like totally full of himself. You know, and he wore the flamboyant underwear, pink underwear and boots. The model? Something like that. He's something the model. Something about modeling. Tom Brady? It's Tom Brady. And here we have Repo Man. Definitely know him. And all these wrestlers have their signature moves. I'm going to have to look them up, what they were supposed to do. Here is Virgil. Just so I can kind of test it, see if those actions still work. I don't want to ruin anything now and have it not work. This is Marty Jannetty. That blood on his head is a custom job. This toy did not come with like razors or blood squirting action. This is, I believe there's multiple versions of Marty Jannetty. This is the tag team version of like the Rockers or something with Shawn Michaels. Speaking of Shawn Michaels, here is the Heartbreak Kid himself. So this is not the tag team version that goes with Marty Jannetty. This is he has the heart pants right there. I believe this is actually a pretty valuable figure. I didn't do too much research on these guys just yet. Another WCW figure. He looks like Triple H. Oh, he actually is Triple H. There you go, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. So they have the signatures on the back. So does this guy have? No. This guy got no tats. Anyways, moving on. Here we got the British Bulldog. It's missing an appendage. Or a few, actually. Hold on, is he sticking up the middle finger? Ha! That's hilarious. I don't know, we have this guy. Did I already do him? He's a Steiner Anderson. Another Steiner brother. Who is this? Oh my god! This is like zombie hacksaw Jim Duggan. Wow. Okay. Yeah, these definitely need to be cleaned up. Here is an armless Viking guy. She had a heart. You're somebody. Who are you? I don't know. This is someone. Looks like a tag team person, potentially. Here is Lex Luger. Also missing some fingers. I feel like the people... I don't know, man. It's kind of weird to be missing this many appendages. I think this is the collection of Jeffrey Dahmer. Here's a biggie from what I can tell. This is Bret the Hitman Hart. I believe this is the Series 4 release. This guy I've seen go for over $100 loose as well. So got another big winner, big ticket item in this lot right there. And I didn't even count how many like figures we have. Here's Bam Bam Bigelow. And at first I wasn't sure if this was like drawn on or not, but he did have a head tattoo, so this is still doing okay. Jim the Anvil right here. Mr. Goatee. He's it's like a dad bod going on here. It's, you know, it's people that's like you can tell they used to work out, but they're still kind of chubby. Whatever the word is for that, he is that. Here we go, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Now we're talking. Now this is a wrestling costume. Chupacabra. Here is one of the many versions of Hulk Hogan. He has a Hulkster shirt. Got that face going on. I like that. I kind of like the weathered look. Whoop. Kind of like the weathered look on some of them. Got the tearing in the back of the shirt. You know, it looks like they've been through some stuff. You don't become the champion by being a pretty boy. So there's so many different versions of Hulk Hogan. I'm not sure which one that is. This is one of the Bushwhackers. I don't know if it's Luke or Butch. Seriously, I've been playing Last of Us, and it looks like they would fit right in with all their faces. War-torn. Here we have the Mountie, Canada's finest. Such a great cast of characters. Here is Greg the Hammer Valentine, you know, in smaller version. You saw him as a big rubber guy. Again, that blood on the face, custom paint job. But it's kind of cool to just like see how people played with their toys. I'm assuming that's why they did it red. I'm not sure what else it would accomplish in the wrestling world. Here is one half of the tag team Legion of Doom. Now these, it's either Hawk or Animal. I forget who's who. Now these would be a super huge deal, and they still kind of are. But unfortunately, like the pegs on his football pads are like worn or kind of, I don't know, they're kind of broken off here. So unfortunately, that's gonna knock it a little bit. It's kind of, I don't like with the paint faded off. It's kind of giving me some weird like tryptophobia. It kind of looks like growths. Like they should be like cut off by a dermatologist. It's just kind of freaking me out, honestly. So let me get that over with before I puke into this box. This guy looks like a Hawk. So maybe the other guy's Animal and this is Hawk. But same skin condition he has going on. Just heebie-jeebies. This guy, I don't remember who he is. He's got a ponytail. So he exists. Ultimate Warrior in his like 60s Batman attire. Macho Man Randy Savage. I'm assuming he had shades because he just looks wrong. This would be a cool figure, but again, of course, our little toy collector that likes to torture his figures had his way with him. Here is another Hulk Hogan. I don't know which series he is, but he's gone from a cut-up shirt to no shirt. So it's very important to have all stages of Hulk Hogan. Here is, I think this is Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Got some crazy eye action going on. A little scary. And I know he came with shears, so I'm kind of glad he does not have those right now. Here we go. The Exorcist version. Owen Hart. Bret Hart's brother, obviously came to a tragic end with a wrestling accident. So that's kind of sawed off there. Has the MC Hammer pants. Mr. Perfecto. Mr. Perfect right here. Tell you, this is like the heyday of wrestling. This is Marty Jannetty as well, on his own. He said, you know, screw Shawn Michaels. I want to be my own man. I want to wear leopard striped pants. Here is another Bushwhacker. So I guess I have the tag team. I wasn't sure if I did. No, this is a different version. See, they have different camo pantses. I thought they were matching. So I think there might have been two different tag teams. Jimmy Snuka, Superfly, I believe, is right there. This is a Samoan, one of the Samoan wrestlers, like Fatu or something, or Samu. Money, money, more, help me. I need a hospital. So it looks like the blood code got to Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. This is a black suit costume variant. Obviously, there is a green one as well. I don't necessarily know who this Headless Horseman is. I don't know if you guys know. Maybe Jake the Snake or somebody else. Maybe I'll find a head later on. Here is the Carolina Crusher. Carolina Crush. Another good figure. This was the other iconic tag team. Demolition. I don't remember their names, but he is missing an arm. Tag me in! Tag me in! And this is like Bayou Billy or something. I don't know. I don't remember this guy. Crocodile Dundee. Look at that. War paint, man. It was all over it. So, LJN, Hasbro, and some WCW mixed in. That is not the end of all the wrestlers that are in the slot. We also got some of the newer guys and a bunch of mixed figures. But if you are not a wrestling fan, you are probably, jumping off the roof by now. So let's switch over to some other non-wrestling things that I picked up at the same yard sale. Alright, so we got a total smorgasbord of items to show you here. I had this box of Game Boy games, and they were only $2 a piece except for Pokemon Red and Crystal, which he wanted $20 for a piece. I did try to get the help of Ed from Ed's Retro Geek Out, but he totally failed me, and I'll tell you why. So these were the games in the lot that he told me to get. There's Battletoads on Game Boy, Jurassic Park 3 Island Attack, and Digimon Racing. He's like, those will, if you're looking to sell, those sell easily. But I looked them up and the value isn't that great. So I paid $2 a piece for that. And I'll share that now because it's not that big a deal. This guy I actually picked up. So it's not as exciting as it looks. It is the Wii Pokemon Battle Revolution box, but inside Wii Sports. So at least we have the manual here. So I figured, that's worth it grabbing. And he had a clean copy of Wii Sports, which is also a decent seller. So for $2, I will gladly take that, no problem. And then here I saw some cool Land Before Time sealed Wendy's toys. So I'm actually going to be keeping these for now because it's just sentimental. So here's Littlefoot and Petrie. Yep. And then poor Spike just gets an art pad. He doesn't even get his own figure, which is total garbage. So I'm not sure if this had to do with it just says Land Before Time on the packaging, so I'm not sure. I don't feel like Spike was in the first movie though, so maybe it's not in line with the first movie. Maybe one of the numerous sequels. So I got those for myself. And then back here are some really exciting things. They are pretty dirty, so I'll work on them. But this right here, if you're not familiar, is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Dual Disc, I believe. And what it is, it's a wearable thing. You actually stick your arm in there, or after you wash it. Oh my god. And you can from what I've seen, it is battery operated. So if I popped in some small watch batteries, it would light this up, and you can change the number. There's a counter, which I'm sure has to do with your cards. And you put cards in here, and I feel like they're supposed to shoot out somehow. But yeah, this is the original one from 1996, and then I guess they made an updated one right here. I'm not sure exactly. I think this was 2004 or something. But guys, if you see these, no joke, pick them up. They are super valuable, going for over $100 a piece potentially. We'll see how good I can clean these up and do some research to make sure everything actually works out. So the way this all broke down, I bought the Game Boy games for $2 a piece, so that was $6 right there. He wanted $15 a piece for each of these Yu-Gi-Oh things, and at the time I was like, well, I know this one, the old one's valuable. I don't really know much about that one, and I didn't come with a ton of money. I was just, it was a local one. I figured I'd swing by. So what he did originally was he gave me this one and Land Before Time figures for $20, which was an okay deal at the moment, I thought. But when I ran home and I started doing research on this, I was like, oh my god, I have to go back out there. So I literally went back and I picked up this and Pokemon Revolution, which wasn't out originally, for $16, because that's literally what I had left. So I got $1 off his asking price there. Now the reason I'm bummed out is because the Game Boy games that I left behind were so much more valuable, and it sucks because if I went with my gut, I probably would have ended up with the ones that were actually more valuable than these guys, because I was like, well, if they're $2 a piece, I should take a chance. Well, number one, I should have just bought the whole thing. But number two, I should just take a chance on the more anime-ish Japanese games, because he definitely had, you could tell this kid was into Japanese culture. I mean, he had the Pokemons and the Yu-Gi-Ohs and some other things, but he had a Godzilla game, Metabots, some other games, and they were some of them were worth $30. And it's too bad because I left a lot on the table there. But obviously, with what I've come away with, I am not complaining in the least bit. So now that I finished that, let's jump through the rest of that giant toad. This is, honestly, I haven't even gone through it, so we're going to be discovering things together on this one. Alright, so all those figures I've already shown you, and there's still this much left over. Like, I'm not even kidding when this thing weighed like 100 pounds. Alright, so I'm just going to go grab it wild, because I know this video is, supposed to be long anyways, but there's a lot of stuff in here. Looks like mostly newer wrestlers, but also some random figures as well. So I can definitely use your help in identifying some of these. So we'll start off with this like giant guy right here. I believe this is Rey Mysterio, one of the wrestlers. So I'll take him out. These newer figures, like this right here, is John Cena. Or I thought it was. I don't see him anymore. So I'm just going to assume a lot of these are Jakks figures, and aka wrestlers. Here's a non-wrestler, or is this Ric Flair? Nope, that's Magneto. So Toy Biz Magneto, it's the magnetic. He has magnets in his hands, so they have little pieces that you can stick to him. And he had his helmet, which seems to be missing. This is obviously Stone Cold. This is either Stone Cold Steve Austin or Ed Norton from American History X. Actually, this is a WCW figure. Goldberg? Who knows? This thing, I have no idea what this guy is, but he looks super interesting. This might be a hidden gem. He has like Kentucky Fried Chicken feet. 1957, 2001 Columbia. Oh, so this must be like a monster. So you guys tell me. It's obviously not Frankenstein or the creature from the Blue Lagoon. What Columbia picture has that guy in it? Let's see here. This, oh my god, that's disgusting. That is gross. You're going away. See, so by the way, this is like an example of like what those LJN figures were covered in. I'm not kidding. So I'm not gonna sit and I'm just gonna talk and not sit and analyze. Oh, this is or it was 123 Kid. And then he joined DX, right? I believe that's who it is. Kona? Maybe I'm way wrong. Doesn't that look like whatever that guy's name is? I forget the actual name of the person. This is a jumbo-sized homie that you used to get in the 25-cent bins. Another wrestling guy. So obviously this is like after my time, so I don't really know a lot of these guys. Except him, huh? You can't mistake the people's eyebrow. That's definitely Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Do you smell what The Rock is cooking? This is like Diamond Dallas Page. Yep, DDP. And that looks like the WCW mold. It's amazing how many of these guys actually crossed over. Here's a much cleaner Rock. I'm trying to think of more of his catchphrases. It doesn't matter what you think, right? I don't know. Missed the setup on that one. You're a guy. Tag team person. You're a female. I don't know, is it Miss Elizabeth? That's the other one I really know. Jakks. Probably not Miss Elizabeth. Sable? The wrestler guy. Anyone that looks like that is going to be Rey Mysterio. I don't know if that's like stereotyping, but that's what it is. Bulldog. This is British Bulldog, obviously. I mean, these are. I wasn't kidding when I said these figures were gross. He's obviously all contorted the wrong way, but he's got front butt. So he is part of that tag team, it looks like. Bret the Hitman Hart, again with front butt. Oh, here we go, Skeletor. Hey, man! This is like small, deformed. Oh my god, his legs have been chewed off. Probably by whatever bug or creature pooped in this bucket. I'm definitely getting some kind of skin disease. This is gross. More wrestlers. More Kona's guys. That's how I say Kona? DOA. Alright, so that guy definitely was. Maybe it wasn't 123 Kid. Or maybe he joined a biker gang. Who knows? This is the Headbangers. Again, after my time, after I stopped caring about wrestling. That looks like Triple H, so I'm going to go with that. Wish I had a Razor Ramon in here. That's out of all the wrestling figures, Razor Ramon is probably the only one I would keep. I used to actually own a Razor Ramon t-shirt. Big and yellow when I was a fat, plumpy kid. This is, you know, this looks like Terminator, but it almost looks a little knockoff-ish. NWO, this is Kevin Nash, Big Sexy, Diesel. See, it's funny things I remember. A Headless Mankind, it looks like. It's a little disturbing. Not sure who you are. Jerry the King Lawler. Nope. No clue. His crotch isn't giving me any answers. Not sure who you are either. Oh, it's a Sabretooth. Oh my god, this is gross. And you are... no idea. Oh, here's somebody I recognize. Goldust. I remember you. So again, a lot of newer figures mixed in with old and new. It was just like a huge chronicle of wrestling. But obviously once I started seeing Hasbro's and big LJN guys, I was like, I'm going for it. Because all these guys right here, the newer guys, assuming they do clean up, like, even if I got like $1 a piece for them, like, I mean, you see how the sheer amount of figures that are in here. Stone Cold. America's Most Wanted Wildcat. Now that is a trench coat, my friend. Here's something different. Here's a car. I feel like this is Digimon? I don't know if that makes sense for Digimon to have cars, but... oh no, wait, well... DC Comics, but Bandai. I actually have no idea. I have no idea. Let's figure it out. But while we're on the topic, here's another one. I mean, the color scheme makes me think Digimon, but why would they have cars? That doesn't make sense. Bandai DC Comics. I'll have to look that up. You are Ken Shamrock? And I think we're getting to the point now where I can kind of just dig through the bucket itself without... what are you? You are a sealed toy. Hot Wheels stunt toy. Got a little mini dino right there. Don't know who you are. This guy has a nose ring, which I feel like is a huge disadvantage in the ring. Another wrestler here from a different country. Is that Dennis Rodman? Dude, that's totally Dennis Rodman. Ha! That's kind of neat. I'll have to look him up. Here's a broom. I don't know if one of the wrestlers that was like their shtick. Some Viking guy. I feel like the old wrestlers were like all caricatures and stuff, but I feel like as time went on, the characters just became more rednecky. Like it's not even like... oh, there's Hollywood. Hulk Hogan and NWO. That's definitely you know, like I said, 1-2-3 Kid when he joined DX. I forget what his name is. Sean? Another part of that tag team. Here's a Digimon Tiger game, which is kind of cool. I apologize if we saw some of these. There's Freddie Mercury. Here's a Furby. Those are worth a lot, right? Oh, here's a He-Man figure. This is a different body type, so obviously not vintage. No swords or anything. Looks like, who's that guy that's in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies? Looks like him. This was a woman at some point. See, I'm getting a lot of weird vibes from this lot. Another vampire. So is this a wrestler or is this like Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt? That looks like it could be The Rock before he was famous. That guy. Confederate flag. Yep. See what I mean? Like, it's just like, all right, you're from the South. Like that's your character. Oh, there's Mankind's head. Not to be outdone by a torso of whoever this fella is. Looking like Undertaker like that. Stone Cold. Austin. Oh, there's one of the Legion of Doom. Don't know who that is, but I don't think it's appropriate for him to be wearing blackface. Yokozuna. I wish I had the Hasbro one. That would have been cool. Yokozuna. Oh, wait, that's the guy from Spawn. Never mind. Sorry, got you confused. And Duke Nukem? And last but not least, a US figure skating electronic game. Krista Yamaguchi? No, that's not her. Alright, so 800 hours, 7 million figures later, that's everything! So let's wrap this guy up. So that haul had a little something for everybody, right? If that something is wrestling figures. For everybody else, you probably stopped watching a long time ago. But at least the beginning of the video was super exciting for me. The Jakks stuff, like I said, I don't really know that much about it. It's probably worthless. Or who knows, maybe it isn't. Maybe that Dennis Rodman figure is the key. So here's how it all broke down, right? I saw an ad for a local yard sale. Like I said, they were talking about cleaning out their like grandparents' stuff, mentioned toys. So I figured it's worth a shot, right? You know, who knows? It could be like tin toys, you know, or cans on a string if we're talking about like grandparents. But hope for the best. So I get there. First thing I see is a giant red bucket of wrestlers. Notice some LJNs, notice some Hasbros. Let me just say, like, you know, I went up to them and I said, "What do you want for the bucket?" They say, "Make me an offer." I say, "Well, $20, take it." Yeah, they took it. So that giant bucket with probably over 100 figures, some of those figures worth hundreds on their own, I got it all for $20. Awesome. Then while I'm still there, I saw the $2 Game Boy games. Like I said, I kind of leaned on Ed's Retro Geek Out. He failed me, so I picked up a few, but they're not really worth that much. That being said, and I don't know if this is a little weird, but I actually sent them a letter in the mail, like old school mail, and pretty much saying like, "Hey, apologize if this is weird, but I'm the guy that bought that wrestling and stuff from you and the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. If you still have those $2 games, I'm interested." So the reason why I did that is because obviously I don't know the guy's name, don't have any way to get in touch with him. I know his address though, so I mailed him a letter. And obviously with like Corona stuff going on, I don't want to just like show up to somebody's door and start knocking, because that's how you end up shot. That's how you get shot. So we'll see. This might turn out to, I might be able to redeem Ed's failures there and get the rest of those games that are worth a lot more than the ones he told me to pick up. So one annoying thing about the yard sale was I asked the guy if he, when I asked him if he had any other video games, he's like, "Oh, I got some GameCube games," and he pulled them out for me, but instead of like giving them to me, he put them on the table while I was like wrapping up this wrestling deal. And when he did that, somebody else came by and grabbed them all, and he was selling those GameCube games for like $2 a piece. Now, from what I saw, I don't think there was anything like crazy in there, but I mean, a $2 Game Boy game or a GameCube game is a no-brainer. So that's too bad, because I could have had a bigger dent in the gaming market there. So that didn't happen, and then I went over and I saw the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. Like I said, I grabbed the original one and the Land Before Time toys for $20 there. And then when I went home and I did some research and realized that I left like another potential $100 item on the floor, ran right back, and it was still there, and he had some of the Wii games available. Wii games were only $2, but I was down to like $16 at the time, and they were like Wii Fit Plus and stuff, so nothing too exciting. So I figured I would get the cool case, Wii Sports, which is pretty valuable in its own right, and the second Yu-Gi-Oh thing for another $16. So when you add everything up, I believe it adds up to like, so we did 20 plus 16 is 36, plus another 20 is 46, plus 6 is 52. Is that everything? Okay. I got all that for 52 bucks. I feel like there's something else I bought. 62? Somewhere. Anyways, holy cannoli, guys. What a huge pickup. Your boy done good. Your boy done real good. So who knows? Maybe I'll start having my luck at yard sales. I mean, I've already had a ton of luck at yard sales, but maybe that's it. Maybe flea markets are dead and I just need to do more attic invading. So, yeah, yard sales are fun until your friends find out. So anyways, again, I don't know how exciting these videos are. I just feel labored and winded just talking about it. I'm sweaty because it's super hot in this room and I have a light. This is like melting me unbelievably, so I look like a hot mess, focusing on the hot part. But anyways, hopefully you like wrestling, because otherwise this video sucked. But thank you for watching. We'll see if this really just ends up being super successful. Then honestly, that's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to keep making things like this, because it's just, you know, I put in a lot of effort the other way and it wasn't necessarily getting the results, honestly. But it's one of those things where I want the views to be there. I want people to like my videos, watch them, I should say, but it's also not me. Like, this isn't fun for me. This isn't fun. But we're all just trying to chase that algorithm, baby. Chasing the dragon. So I will do everything it wants me to. And if you are there or not, it doesn't matter. Just let your computer run start to finish, and we'll be good. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching my hour-long video. Assuming. I haven't edited this yet, but it's probably very long and boring. Just like you. Okay, bye!